Friends and family, welcome for this evening. To start on the subject of my book, I think it's a very personal journey. The book has nothing to do with me as I can see it. It's more to do with what I saw in tourism as I lived through my professional life since 1972. It's a small journey of 51 years, and happy to be here with all of you here this evening. A quick take on the book, and hopefully Barkha was asking me what is the mission mode for the evening. I think the roadmap for Indian tourism is what I'm looking for. If we can have some little milestones or little pegs on which we can put our tourism game plan forward in the next couple of years. If you chance through the book, I think what I'm trying to say is that I've worked very closely with the Ministry of Tourism. I think in a unique position where I've seen success. And I think somewhere I must confess that some kind of a consistency is missing from year to year over decades. I can't look back and think of any consistency at the center at all. So I don't know what we are talking about for all my tourism that I've spent these last 5 decades. My take is that the ministry is not empowered to either join the dots. So whatever we are talking of tourism, it's confined largely to hotels and tour operators. They are, to my mind, I've written in the book, are facilitators. They are not the product, they are not India's tourism. And somewhere India's tourism story is yet to start. So somebody has to kickstart it, hopefully. The panel today is also different from the usual. I've requested my friends from years to be here. The fact that Barkha is here today is itself in itself an indicator that we want to do things differently. That's a tough question, but let me try and answer it. Somewhere I feel that we've been laboring over too many things for too long, and they haven't fructified. And we are still struggling to say, let's do this. For example, we have Secretary Tourism recently, Mr. Arvind Singh sitting here, the National Tourism Board or a national committee or something. I mean, these are very honestly, in my very considered, very personal opinion, old hat. It's all gone and dusted. Now to have a tourism board after Muhammad Yunus committee recommended it almost 40 years ago. I mean, it's inane now, it's not relevant. And we are still struggling to do those things. The other day I heard about Visit India Year. I mean, Visit India Year has been tried, it's over. So let's do something different. So we are still struggling with ideas from the past. And I have written in a book that travel and tourism is going to prosper. There is no pulling it back. Nobody is going to pull back travel and tourism. It's going to happen regardless of governments, regardless of anybody. There is that momentum in our economy. Domestic tourism, domestic tourists, foreigners, they will keep coming. So there's no threat to travel and tourism happening. But if you want to make a quantum difference to how tourism happens, then you will have to make a break from the past and look at new things to happen.
What's the one fundamental break from the past that you think we have to make?
I think people haven't understood the magic or the power of tourism. And people still are struggling, in my opinion, still to think either we think it's elitist or we think it doesn't matter. We have all got, all the connotations we have are all incorrect. The right one has not happened, that it is actually, tourism is the magic wand. Tourism is the magic wand. Tourism can transfer everything that's happening in the country. And the greatest thing that is happening today in the world of tourism is experiential. Now, experiential wraps up our hinterland. It captures the essence of India. So if you want Bharat, that's experiential. It's not sitting in your Delhi, Bombay and Calcutta. So you have that opportunity to actually encash on experiential. And may I request that we formally release the book, and may I request Mr. S.K. Misra, please sir, if you could come on stage, and Mr. Dugal, please join us. Mr. Arvind Singh, please come up on stage. You are, for us in this audience, you are still Secretary Tourism. Thank you so much, Mr. Misra. Thank you very much. Can we coming to the most pleasant part of the evening? My vote of thanks to all of you here. Meera, thank you. I just want to thank all of you here for reviving all our associations from the past and making a very memorable evening. A quick mention of the book itself. Like I think Kishore mentioned, the book has been in the works for some time. But just about 15 days ago, I took a decision that let's get it out. And we fixed a date, 25th. Then the idea was, who will go to edit it and get it out? So Kishore chipped in. We were looking for a cover, and my son suggested, why don't you ask Satish ji for some ideas on what a book cover can be. So Mr. Satish Gupta volunteered to share some of his images. And we have a lovely bit of a poem from the artist. Time just flows, yet we choose to mark each obstacle. And I think that's what the book is all about, marking each one of our obstacles in my journey. And to Leela Hotels for making this event such a success. I think it's an awesome venue and great tribute to the founder, and really remembering Captain Nair today, who also figures in the book in a chapter. So, and thank you very much, Mr. Kant, for being here. I know he is just dropping in between some 4 or 5 of his engagements. Thank you very much for being here. All my fellow panelists for contributing to the discussions. I hope there's going to be some way forward coming out of here. I remember Mr. Dugal asking me at one of our BITB conclaves, it's mentioned in my book also, कि ये सब कुछ कर रहे हो, इसका नतीजा क्या निकलेगा? So I said, that's really difficult for me to say, but all I can endeavor is to carry on with the task, and I hope that this book is going to be a little break and maybe a start of something new to happen in the years ahead. May I request all of you to please stay on and enjoy a drink with me. Thank you.